Ikaw, Arian, ang liwanag. Tapos, ang request dito, after prior consultation with the government of the Philippines. So, hindi totoo na March 11, 3 a.m. lang ninyo nalaman. Kasi nakasabi dito sa page 1, after prior consultation with the government of the Philippines who have agreed to comply with this request. Ibig sabihin, ang pamahalaan ay nakausap na, una, ikalawa, sumang-ayon na. So, ibig sabihin, ito, formal transmittal lang. Walang sinasabi dito na biglaan ito. Kaya nga, March 10 pa lang, 7,000 ng pulis na ang minobilize eh. Bakit sinasabing ganito?
Yung sinasabi po nyo na...
Hindi, binabasa ko lang
Opo,
to eh.
opo. Ang matatanong po natin dyan ay yung nagpadala po nung... yung nag-apply po, ICC. Sila po naglagay niyan eh. Hindi po tayo.
Ibig ko nagsisinungaling ang Interpol?
Hindi.
Pati yung residual jurisdiction na sinasabi po ninyo, hanggang 2019 na lang.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
yun
wala
po
na
sabi
kayo.
ng Korte Suprema.
Tama.
Oh.
So, ngayon wala na. Maski residual jurisdiction, wala na rin.
Wala na po, wala na po.
Kasi 1 year lang eh.
Pero tandaan po natin, ma'am, na ang ICC sa buong mundo ay tinitingnan ang ginagawa ng mga individual na marahil ay nakakapanakit sa kapwa nila at gumagawa po ng pag-violate ng mga karapatan ng mga tao. Yun po yung tinitingnan po na ICC rito eh. Kaya ho, hindi po yan ang ating tinitingnan eh. Ang tinitingnan po natin talaga, ano pa talaga ang ICC? Ang ICC ay tinatag upang habulin yung mga individual na lumabag sa batas ng tao at sa batas ng Diyos. Yun ang pagkakaunawa ko.
Kung yung ICC may jurisdiction at hindi pa nag-umpisa ng anumang investigasyon nung nakaraang taon, nung Nobyembre, anong ibig sabihin ng presidente nung may pagbabago? Nung sinabi niya na hindi tayo hahadlang, pero hindi rin tayo magko-cooperate. Ba't niya sinabi yon? Biglang iba na ang tono, biglang nagbago. Kayo nga nagsabi, dapat talaga nagbabago ang palaisipan ng tao.
Ganun po talaga dapat ho, hindi natin itataga sa bato ang pwede ho maging hindi totoo.
Siyempre natututo tayo sa
Po,
habang panahon.
natataldahan po tayo.
Taon.
Oho.
Tama. So, ang ibig sabihin, ang Pangulo, nagbago rin ang palaisipan.
Marahil po.
So, ang sa kanya, may jurisdiction na pala.
Hindi ko ho pwedeng sabihin ang state of mind niya.
Opo.
Pero sinasabi ko lang ho, bilang tao, lahat po tayo pwede magbago ang pag-iisip.
Hindi ko naman hinihingi yung state of mind po. Ang tinatanong ko lang, maliwanag naman yung statement na sinabi niya na pwede tayong magpapasok ng ICC sa ating bansa. Pwera lang kapag illegal ang ginagawa. Tama?
Hindi ho natin sinasabing imbitado sila rito. Hindi ho natin sinasabi na haharapin natin sila. Ngunit ang tao ho ay labas-pasok sa Pilipinas.
Pero hindi
At tayo
po
po ay mga being very hospitable people, we welcome all people who want to partake of the beauty of our country. Ayun po yung ating pinag-uusapan dito.
Pero hindi po ba yung mas maagang mga statement, yung mga unang statement, talagang hindi daw siya lalahok sa anumang investigasyon. Ngayon, hahayaan lang niya. Tama po.
Marahil po, marahil.
nagbago.
Sabi ko nga ho,
Nagbabago naman nga.
Nagbabago naman ang pagtingin natin lahat sa buhay. Hindi naman po ang pagtingin natin nung tayo 20 anyos at ngayon ay pareho pa rin.
Sana naman
na
natuto na
tumatanda rin
tayo.
po tayo. Natututo rin po tayo.
So do you mean to tell me that after saying 100 times that the ICC has no jurisdiction, the President at the 101st time changed his mind and determined that there was somehow some kind of jurisdiction that allowed them to come here and investigate?
I cannot comment on his state of mind when he said that.
I don't think it's a question of state of mind, sir. It's statements.
His statement would speak for itself.
When did the executive then change his mind, given that we are admitting he changed his mind, at least to some degree?
Well, I cannot agree to I mean, the question, ma'am, is very vague, if you ask me.
Hindi, nagbago, di ba? Nung una, sabi niya talagang haharangan niya.
Because I cannot,
bawal
as
dahil
I
meron
said
tayong
earlier,
mga
ma'am,
korte.
I
Tapos
cannot-
biglang sinabi na bukas ang Pilipinas. Kung nag-iimbestiga sila, papasukin. Pwera lang pag may ginagawang illegal o may krimen.
Again, I can
Malaking
say that
pagbabago po yun.
hindi ko ako pwede magkomento sa state of mind niya. Kung paano ho nag-iisip ang
Hindi ko
Pangulo,
naman
hindi pa ako
tinatanong kung
magkomento.
galit, wala naman akong tinatanong kung masaya. Yun ang state of mind. Ang tinatanong ko, doon sa sinabi, hindi ba maliwanag na nag-iba?
Sabi ko nga ho, lahat tayo nagbabago ng pag-iisip sa pagdaan po ng panahon.
Okay.
Tayo po ay natututo naman ng unti-unti at nauunawaan natin ng gusto ang
kaya
mga
nga.
pangyayari sa paligid natin.
Kung aaminin natin na nagbago ang pag-iisip, bakit? At kailan nagbago yung pag-iisip natin tungkol sa jurisdiction ng ICC? Bakit? At meron bang dahilan? Baka may alam ang DND, baka may alam ang NSC para maintindihan natin kung saan na tayo ngayon. Kasi tayo ay nag-iimbestiga in aid of legislation. Gusto ko malaman saan ba tayo patungo. Ano na ba ngayon? Palibasa, eto nga, admitido natin, nagbago. Kung nagbago, saan na tayo ngayon?
Siguro po yung pag-unawa po ng ICC jurisdiction. Kasi nung nag-aapela pa tayo sa ICC, na sinasabi natin na hindi tayo saklaw dito, marahil yung isang pagising natin sa katotohanan na ang hinahabol ng ICC ay hindi naman bansa, ngunit individual. Marahil yun po yung pag-unawa na nagbago sa ating lahat. Kasi hindi naman po estado natin ang hinihimok ng ICC, kundi po yung mga individual dito na nagkasala at yung naging biktima po ng mga krimen at ng mga pamilya po ng mga biktima ng mga pagpatay nung panahon na yun.
Okay. At sabihin natin may limited cooperation sa ICC. Sabihin natin, nung 13 November, si ASEC ES Bersamin pala, ay nagsabi that if the ICC refers the process to Interpol, which may then transmit a red notice to the Philippines, the government will feel obliged to consider the red notice. Parang may ganon, may statement ba dyan? Yung kay ES Bersamin.
Alala ko po yung statement na yun.
Panaalala po
Opo,
niya.
opo.
Oo. So, yung pagbabago ay malinaw. Kasi pati si Executive Secretary, diniin na nagbago nga talaga. Tama po ba? Kasi sabi niya, kapag may pulang notisya.
Marahil ho dahil ito sa mga karanasan natin sa mga nakaraang buwan na tumutulong po ang Interpol sa ating bansa. Kaya ang paggalang natin sa Interpol ay ganun-ganun na lamang. Hindi po natin pinababayaan na magkasamaan ng loob sa Interpol sapagkat sila po ay ating inaasahan sa maraming pagkakataon.
Tama, talagang lumalahok tayo at umaasa sa Interpol. Ngayon, nung January, kayo po nagsalita at tatanungin ko kung tama po ba to. At sinabi na the Marcos administration ay uupo kasama na ng ICC. Talagang uupuan na natin to discuss certain areas of cooperation. So, hindi na no cooperation, no blocking, no limited at tatalakayin ang ibang mga areas kung pwede, kung saan pwede makipagkaisa. Tama ba yun?
Hindi ko ho naalala yung statement na
January
yan,
2025 po, sinabi ninyo, uupo kayo kasama ng ICC para malaman doon sa kanilang investigasyon ukol sa libo-libong pagpapatay ng drug war ni Presidente Duterte. Sabi mo, ayon sa report, na yung cooperation with an international tribunal ay pinapayagan sa ating batas. At yung ICC representatives have been going in and out of the country without any of us raising anything. January 2025 po.
So ano ho yung tanong?
Ang sinasabi ko, what happened to the President's statement that the government will not lift a finger? And what happens to your own assertion that there will be no blocking but no cooperation? Ngayon, nakikipagtungo na tayo sa ICC.
Hindi, yun po yung sinasabi natin nagiging bukas ang ating isipan, ngunit hindi po natin ginawa. Hindi po tayo nakiupo, hindi tayo nakipag-usap. Yun po yung malinaw sa lahat.
Pero handa kayo noon, ngunit hindi natuloy. Ganun po ba?
Marahil ho, kung meron hong tutulay, pero wala naman hong tumuloy eh. Kaya wala hong nangyari.
Pero meron rin kayong sinabi that the ICC representatives as of January 2025 have been going in and out. Labas-pasok sila sa ating bansa. Hinahayaan lang natin.
Hindi ko po hindi ko ho alam yung pagpasok at paglabas nila.
Meron po
Wala ho akong kaalaman sa pagpasok at paglabas. Marahil sa kanila pag-iimbestiga, labas-pasok sila rito. Ngunit wala akong nagsasabi sa akin na ICC po yung labas-pasok dito. Wala pong akong report sa immigration. Wala po akong report sa
Sinabi po
ating
ninyo.
Kayo
po nagsabi, kaya ako nalaman na may ICC representatives na labas-pasok dito sa ating bansa na hindi tayo umaalma, hindi tayo nagrereklamo. Yun na ang pagkasabi po ninyo.
Sabi nga namin dati pa, kung wala ho silang nilalabag na batas, ay malaya po silang maglabas-pasok sa ating bansa. Katulad po ng kahit sino pang turista o sino pong nais bumisita sa ating bansa.
Iba po yung pakay ng turista, iba naman yata ang pakay ng kinatawan ng ICC. So, nag-iba na talaga. Sa bandang January ng 2025, hinayaan na natin sila na lumabas-pasok dito sa ating bansa. Ganun po ba?
Hindi po wala tayong hinahayaan, hindi lang ho tayo nagtatanong kung hindi natin tinatanong ang lahat ng labas-pasok dito kung sila po ay ICC.
Pero
Kasi nga sa dami po ng labas-pasok sa atin, hindi po natin tinatanong.
So hanggang Enero nitong taon talagang maliwanag na labas-pasok na yung mga ICC, ano?
Hindi ko po alam eh. Wala po akong personal knowledge. I can only speak from personal knowledge.
Narito kasi sa Philippine Star at sinabi na I know that as anecdotally from people I know from the human rights community, they've been in contact here.
May mga nagkikwento po na may kausap silang ICC.
So alam po
Ngunit-
ninyo. Kasi sabi mo in-identify pa ninyo yung source. Sabi ninyo yung human rights people. Nagko-contact
Oo nga, oo.
usap na. Di alam na ninyo na nandito na yung ICC.
Ay, hindi ko ho nalalaman kung nandun sila. Sinasabi lang nila, may kausap sila. Hindi ko sinasabi ko saan sila nag-usap at paano. Pero, siyempre marami hong gustong tumulay. Ngunit hindi naman natin, hindi ho nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na makilala talaga namin na ICC o makaharap. Kahit kailan po hindi namin nakaharap ang ICC.
Pero alam ninyo na may galaw na sila at nag-iimbestiga na sila.
7 taon na po silang gumagalaw, ma'am. 7 taon na. Hindi naman ngayon lang yan eh. 7 years ago, the ICC was already investigating what happened during the drug war.
What happened 7 years ago? Parang nahinto Bakit sinabi natin na hindi na tayo
Yun lang po yung aking recollection kung kailan sila nagsimula. Na parang 2016 nga, baka 9 years ago pa. Sinimulan na po nilang bantayan ang ating drug watch, yung ating drug war, nung nagsimula po yung patayan.
Pero matibay ang ating kalooban, matibay ang paninindigan natin na hindi natin natutulungan at talagang tututulan natin pagkat meron tayong sariling pulis, may sarili tayong mga korte. Ang liwaliwanag nun.
Opo.
Bago lamang,
Meron po tayong panahon na binabantayan
nakaraang
dito.
taon.
May panahon po tayong binabantayan dito. 2016 hanggang 2019 ay doon po ang kainitan ng drug war. At ito po, ang dami ho lumalapit sa aming opisina, humihingi ng tulong na maimbestigahan yung magpatay kung kani-kanino na lamang. Pero marami ho kaming talagang naging
Kailan pumunta sa opisina ninyo? Kasi ang binabanggit ninyo, hindi pa Marcos administration, yung 2016 to 2019. Kailan nagumpisa?
Simula ho sila pumunta sa amin, 2022 na.
Oh.
So matagal na ho nakalipas ang mga krimen na nangyari.
Pero nung umpisa, ang sinasabi natin, paulit-ulit, talagang hindi tayo tutulong at hindi natin hahayaan sila manghimasok. Maybe we can ask Secretary Anyo, sorry, kumakain po kayo, violation na naman ng human rights po to. Pero kung maaari bilang pinuno ng National Security Council, baka may naalam kayo tungkol sa pivot. Kasi parang nag-iba eh. Di nag-iba. Bakit nag-iba? Nung una, ang tindi ng ating paninindigan na hindi kailanman tayo tutulong sa ICC. Biglang lumambot, nahahayaan natin pag pumasok sila, tapos pagkatapos nun, meron ng statement, uupo tayo. Kung may mamamagitan, pag-uusapan kung saan tayo pwede tumulong. Meron ba kayong alam, Secretary Anyo? Kasi maraming nagsasabi na kayo daw ang dahilan kung bakit nagbago ang isipan ng ating administrasyon.
Madam Chair, palagay ko po ay walang basis po yung ganong klaseng allegation sapagkat ito po ay legal na usapan at hindi po kami nag-focus sa legal na usapan sapagkat ang sa amin po ay on the lens of national security. Tapos wala rin po kaming na-monitor na pumasok dito ng mga ICC investigators nung sinasabi ng mga panahon na yan.
So wala kayong alam tungkol sa pagbabago ng isipan at polisiya ng ating administrasyon?
Wala po, Madam Chair.
At hindi rin kayo kasama sa pagpaplano ng aresto ni former President Duterte?
Ma'am, meron po akong opening statement. Pwede ko po bang basahin?
Siyempre, oo. In the meantime, if I may recognize the arrival of Senator Cayetano.
Thank you.
Please proceed, Secretary.
Yes,
Anyo,
ma'am.
please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to start by thanking the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, chaired by Senator Amy R. Marcos, for the opportunity to clarify the truth about what transpired during the arrest of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte and other related matters. I believe this is also a good venue for me and my fellow officials to clarify what really happened and to debunk and dispel the false accusations and fake narratives that have misled the public about this issue. As government officials, it is our duty to be truthful and to assure the public that our actions were proper and in accordance with the law. I, for one, have been the victim of relentless disinformation campaign aimed at destroying the integrity and credibility I have carefully built over 4 decades of public service, which began the day I entered the hallowed halls of the Philippine Military Academy. While public officials are not supposed to be thin-skinned, I have rolled with the punches for several days. However, the time has come for me to air my side. Therefore, I am grateful for the opportunity to speak before the Senate and present the truth. As a former member of the cabinet of the Duterte administration, it is also very hard for me to see the former president arrested. I worked closely with former President Duterte for so many years through the most serious crisis the country faced, and we have developed and nurtured a personal friendship. He trusted and respected me in the same way I trusted and respected him, even after our terms ended in 2022. I retired from public service when former President Duterte ended his term. However, the repeated calls for public service came again, and 6 months after my retirement, I was appointed by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to be his national security advisor. I saw my appointment as a continuation of my service to the Filipino people across different administrations. As a soldier, my loyalty has always been to the Constitution and the chain of command. This has always been my principle when I served as the Commanding General of the Philippine Army under President Noynoy Aquino, then as AP Chief of Staff, and later as Secretary of the Department of Interior and Local Government under President Duterte, and now as National Security Advisor under President Marcos Jr. In its position, I have held under several administrations. I have never played politics. I do not have a political agenda, nor do I have or will I ever have political ambitions. I uphold the same principle in my role as National Security Advisor and Director General of the National Security Council. Thus, I'd like to state for the record that my role was limited to the mandate of my office to assess that the situation does not escalate into a national security concern. The implementation of the ICC warrant is beyond my mandate, and I had no part in it. And may I also state for the record that I am not aware of any core group, nor am I a member of such group that allegedly planned and prepared for the arrest of former President Duterte. In fact, it was only on Tuesday morning, March 11, 2025, that I learned that there was already an Interpol red notice and that the ICC warrant of arrest would be served. There was also no intelligence operation. The former president's presence in Hong Kong, as well as his return to the country, was a public knowledge since it was heavily reported in both mainstream and social media. It is utterly unacceptable and unfair that my name is being dragged into an alleged grand conspiracy. I firmly deny any allegations of a grand conspiracy. In fact, the events in March 11 were spontaneous. As National Security Advisor, I was merely doing my job. However, I face all these accusations against my honor and integrity with firm resolve, knowing that I am on the side of the truth, and I was simply doing what I had to do. And in doing so, I upheld the truth, justice, and the rule of the law. Again, my loyalty is always to the country, to the Constitution, and not to any person. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Salamat, Secretary Ed. Subalit sa kabila nito, nagsalita po ang ating mahal na Secretary John Vic na ang nagplano po rito, o yung pagkaintindi namin, ang nagplano ay kayo.
I would like
Secretary
to answer that.
Anyo, Secretary Gibo Chodoro, at ang pinangalan, ang Chief PNP, General Marbil. Parang apat yung pinangalanan sa isang interview ng ating Secretary ng DILG.
Can I answer that, ma'am?
Yes, please, you're recognized.
The question was, who planned this? I did not state in any way who planned it. The meeting was of executive privilege. It is a conversation between the president and the ones I mentioned. There was.
So what exactly did you say? Ano sinabi po ninyo?
They
Ang
asked me-
pagkaintindi namin, itong apat na pinangalanan, ang siyang nagplano.
Ma'am, we're already invoking
namin.
executive privilege in this matter.
Yes.
We're invoking executive privilege in this
Yes,
matter.
that's fine, but it's
Yes.
in the interview, and it's
Yes, ma'am.
public.
It goes as far as the interview, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
That's it.
I'd like to understand. I think your brother was trying
I
to
did not
explain
state in any
what he
way.
said in the interview, and I'm happy
They
to
asked
hear
me
it.
if I planned it. I said it was not me. There were other people in the room, but we did not discuss any plans of any arrest.
Saan ang galing yung mga pangalan na ito?
Ma'am, that again is executive privilege. Ma'am, let
Pero
me explain, ma'am.
nandun-
Let me
nandun
explain
sa
first, ma'am.
interview po eh.
Yes, yes,
Ang
ma'am.
liwanag
Let
eh.
me explain first, ma'am. We were discussing rumors of an impending arrival
Parang
based on.
hindi yung ganun ang dating sa amin eh. Ang
that
pagkaintindi
is
namin,
the
apat
whole
na
truth,
nagplano.
ma'am. That is we were discussing rumors. Go ahead, ma'am.
Patugtog na lang natin para maintindihan ha.
What was and who was really on top of this? Kayo ho ba? Because during the press conference of the president, it was you and the president.
Yes.
So ikaw ho ba nagplano ng lahat ng ito?
Hindi naman, hindi naman. It was a group effort. Secretary Chidoro was there, Secretary Anyo was there too, and the president and I. So, hindi naman ako. Ako lang ang
I
natira.
stand by that, ma'am.
Last man standing doon sa Malacanang.
I stand by that.
Kasi Secretary Chidoro was working out of his office.
Eh, napakaliwanag
Campo
po nung
Guinaldo.
sinabi
Yes, ma'am.
ninyo. Wala
Secretary
namang
Anyo, of
mapakiyaw-kiyaw
course,
dun sa
is
Yes, ma'am.
sinabi.
intelligence.
Yes, ma'am.
Patayin na muna natin. Pakaliwanag naman ang sabi ninyo, hindi ako mag-isa kahit ako ang kasama ng presidente nung nagsalita
Yes, ma'am.
sa press con, hindi ako mag-isa ang nagplano. Isang grupo kami. Tapos pinangalanan mo.
No, ma'am.
Eh sinabi ninyo eh.
I state, ma'am, again, executive privilege. But, ma'am,
Walang executive
I-
privilege kasi binunyag na
I
ninyo sa
must
TV.
state it very clear, as I stated very clear, that there was no mastermind. We were discussing mainly about what the president's statements were in Hong Kong, and it was based all on that statement, ma'am.
Sinabi ninyo na hindi kayo mag-isa na nagplano, kundi isang
There was no
grupo.
planning, ma'am.
Pero yun ang sabi eh.
I said, hindi ako nagplano. Marami
May
kaming-
isang grupo na
Ang
nagplano.
We were all talking about a rumor, ma'am, and that was all.
Rumor lang yon.
Yes, ma'am.
Group effort ang sabi mo eh. Ang tanong niya kung ikaw ang nagplano, tapos sabi mo,
There was no
hindi,
planning,
group
ma'am.
effort.
There was no planning, ma'am.
Anong
Earlier,
in-effort ng group
ma'am,
kapag hindi
let
plano?
me make
I think that intruding into executive privilege already, ma'am. I think that we please
No, I'm
respect
just
our.
asking him to explain the media.
Yes, ma'am. But it's already
I'm
a very thin
confining-
dividing line between what transpires in a room between
I will-
cabinet members
I will-
and a media statement. But there's a very thin dividing line, ma'am.
Understood.
I hope that we can respect executive privilege.
Understood, and the Senate and the Secretary Chodoro is fully aware. Every time there's a need to recess to executive session, I'm happy to do so, and I will do so when necessary. Pero ngayon, sinabi kasi sa TV, paliwanag naman ninyo sa atin kung ano ibig sabihin. Kasi ang sinabi, hindi ako mag-isa na nagplano, may grupo kami.
They asked me if I had planned it. Sabi ko, I did not. I did not plan it. I said we were there, and not to skirt, ma'am, executive privilege. It was mainly because of the statements of the former president in Hong Kong that he said, in his words, ma'am, in Hong Kong, that, I think you have a clip, he said that, ang reading ko ay may ICC warrant of arrest na. That was the best of my recollection, ma'am.
So anong pinag-group effortan? Anong
To discuss the
ng
rumor, ma'am.
grupo na
That, again, ma'am,
pinangalanan nyo?
as far as I will invoke in executive privilege, there was no, you cannot plan on a rumor, ma'am.
Kaya nagtataka
So,
ako,
again,
bakit
ma'am,
group effort? Chismis lang naman yun.
Chismis nga. Ayun
Kaya
nga
nga,
yun.
kung chismis, bakit mag-group effort pa? Tapos pinangalanan mo
Ma'am,
pa lahat na
maraming
nagpag-group
marites sa
effort.
mundo to, ma'am.
Dabis naman yung marites, dami-daming
It
marites
was a
sa amin.
discussion of a rumor based on the statement of the president in Hong Kong.
Nakakatuwa lang dahil chismis lang pala eh. Bakit sesentensyahan yung tao sa base ng chismis?
It was a discussion of a rumor based on the statement of the president in Hong Kong.
So you deny that you're part and parcel of the planning and that the other persons you named, hindi rin sila kasali dun sa pagpaplano?
Again, ma'am, we were discussing the statement of the former president while he was in Hong Kong, that he said that he said, in his words, ang reading ko ay may warrant of arrest na ako. So that was the only basis of the conversation, ma'am.
So ito yung group effort ninyo.
Yes, ma'am.
Pinagtulong-tulungan ninyo yung isang bahagyang chismis.
It was, ma'am, all of that is, again, the statement of the former president, not ours.
Okay, so walang kinalaman to. Pero para lamang sa kaprasong chismis, magtitipon-tipon pa yung mga sekretary ng gabinete. Nakakatuwa naman.
Call it what you may, ma'am.
Walang magawa. Opo, anyway, nabanggit na paulit-ulit itong Interpol, ano? At nabanggit na ng SOJ. At
Ma'am,
alam naman natin.
ma'am,
Yes
if
po.
I may, since
Yes, Secretary
our name
Chodoro,
was,
please. O kasi kasali kayo eh.
alluded to, the Department of National Defense and the Armed Forces of the Philippines has no law enforcement mandate. Our sole mandate is to give support to the Philippine National Police when it is asked for. And therefore, such ends our jurisdiction. The operation is clearly a law enforcement one, and the Philippine National Police has the power to ask the armed forces to assist. And that is the extent of the participation of my department and the armed forces of the Philippines. And all other matters in supporting the Philippine National Police are covered by operational security.
Tama po. Kaya hindi talaga chismis lang to. Meron talagang natanggap. At sinabi rin sa isang interview, alas 3 ng umaga, natanggap na yung notice of arrest nung Martes, March 11. Sinabi naman ni Secretary Remulla na si PNP General Marbil nakatanggap ng notice of arrest warrant alas 3 ng umaga ng Martes at sinabihan ang Pangulo ng alas 6. Nabasa niya na nga sa alas 6 ng umaga.
I
So
stand by
ibig
that,
sabihin, hindi po chismis to. Meron ng notice of arrest warrant.
You're
Totoo na
talking
siya.
about 2 different days, ma'am.
Okay.
March 10.
Sige, clarify
was-
po ninyo para
March
maintindihan
10
namin.
was conjecture.
March 10,
was
chismis pa lang
conjecture.
yon.
Yes, ma'am.
Dala nung salita galing sa Hong Kong.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
March
Tapos,
11 was a formalized transmission
Okay.
by the ICC towards Interpol.
And that was the first knowledge that this administration had of the presence of a action by the ICC directed towards the Interpol. And that was the only formal knowledge that we had.
So, andun lang. So, ang ibig sabihin, ang gobyerno hindi tumulong sa ICC sa application ng warrant. Nagulat kayo na dumating na lang yung dokumento.
Yes, ma'am.
Wala kayong kaalam-alam or
None, ma'am.
paghihingi?
None whatsoever, ma'am.
None whatsoever. Ganon din yung SOJ, pati yung SND. Wala kayong balita, wala kayong hinikayat, wala kayong pakikiusap na ilabas na yan sa lalong madaling panahon.
Wala po ako rito noon eh. Nasa Vienna po ako. Ma-attend po ako ng United Nations meeting sa Drugs and Crime,
Yung-
UNODC.
Yung March 10 o yung 11 po?
Parehong araw po, wala po ako rito. Ngunit nakikipag-usap ako sa telepono na tinatanong ko yung nangyayari dito sapagkat ang Department of Justice ay involved syempre sa bawat proseso. At kinakausap ko po yung mga pwede kong kausapin tungkol dito.
Okay, so wala kayo dito pero kayo nag-anunsyo at lumabas sa balita na alas 3 ng umaga pa lang na Martes andyan na yung notice of warrant.
It was me, ma'am. It was
Ikaw
me.
ba? Ibang
It was
Remulla
me.
yun? Baka
It was
na-confuse
me who
pati
confirmed,
media.
ma'am.
Po.
It was me who confirmed during the press conference of March, on Tuesday, March 11, I think, that when the president asked me on when the notice of diffusion arrived, and I stated it was 3 a.m.
Salamat. Okay, si General Marbil, may idadagdag po kayo. Kayo daw ang nakatanggap eh.
Ma'am, natanggap ko po yun ay more or less after ng 3 o'clock. So usually ito po talaga ginagawa namin pagka meron pong request ang PCTC Interpol, we act po dun sa kanila po. Kung ano po yung request ng PCTC Interpol.
Maraming salamat, General Marbil. At Interpol ang binabanggit na natin ngayon. So yung Interpol, ang Pilipinas ay isa sa founding member. Isa tayo sa nanguna sa pagtatatag ng Interpol noong 1952. Interpol's purpose is to facilitate cooperation and assist member nations. So crime information sharing, investigative support, specialized training, transnational crimes in particular are the focus of this agency. And this comprise terrorism, cybercrime, organized crime, financial crime, and anti-corruption. And to ensure that it is not used for persecution, in its constitution, the Interpol has Article 3, providing that it's strictly forbidden for the organization to undertake any intervention or activities of a political, military, religious or racial character. So maliwanag yan sa Interpol, hindi sila manghihimasok sa politika at sa domestic affairs ng isang bansa. Ngayon, eto na yung press con ng ating Pangulo noong March 11 ng 2025 at sinabi niya, andito yata yan, it's a request of the Philippine government from Interpol. And to enforce the arrest warrant, and of course we comply with our commitments to Interpol. We did not do this because it was derived or it came from ICC, but rather from Interpol. Because they asked us, we have commitments to them, we live up to those commitments. I don't think we violated the country's sovereignty. Bakit naman? Dahil consistent naman tayo, hindi tayo tumutulong sa investigasyon ng ICC. Wala tayong meron contact, pero not on an official level. We did not help them in any way. The arrest we did today was in compliance. Ayan, mabasa ninyo. Was in compliance with the commitment to Interpol at hindi yung ICC. Hindi natin kinakausap ang ICC, marami silang hinihingi sa atin ng mga dokumento, wala kaming binibigay. Yun lamang, hindi natin mahindian ang Interpol. So kung may duda sa ating pakikibahagi sa ICC, ang sinasabi ng Pangulo, ang ating commitment, obligasyon sa Interpol ay maliwanag at walang duda. So, ang sinasabi natin, kailan ba natanggap ng gobyerno na yung ICC naglabas na ng warrant of arrest laban kay Presidente PRRD?
At alas 3 nga ng umaga. Yun ang pagkakaalam kong yun.
So, hindi...
March 11.
no inkling before. May marites lang. Sabi
Marites lang po. Marami hong, ilang taon na po yung sinasabi na may lalabas na warrant of arrest. Ngunit ngayon lang ho talaga lumabas. March 11, alas 3 ng umaga.
So hanggang sa March 11 ng alas 3, na tulad ng sinabi ni General Marbil, natanggap ninyo nung umaga, ay wala kayo ka-idea.
The only information we got was the words of the former president in Hong Kong.
Sa Hong Kong,
Sa Hong Kong, ma'am.
na andyan na.
Yes, ma'am.
Siya pang nauna, hindi kayo.
Yes, ma'am.
Nakakatuwa, no? Anyway, hindi ba March 8 pa lamang, marami na ring chismis na magkakaroon ng arrest warrant. In fact, the following day, mismo yung palasyo, Malacanang, sinabi na may mga haka-haka na ganun nga, lalabas na, and the government is prepared for any eventuality. Bakit nasabi yun kung wala pang hawak na notice or kopya? March 8 pa lang to, nagsalita na yung Malacanang.
Ma'am.
Ibig sabihin, andun na.
Ma'am, the government is prepared for any eventuality at all times. That is the nature of our job. We will always be prepared. We will always be on hand to enforce any of these laws, ma'am.
So it does not mean na yung executive o yung palasyo may nalalaman tungkol sa warrant
Ma'am,
of arrest.
no one knew, ma'am.
Walang may
Again,
alam.
I repeat, ma'am,
as of March
categorically, no one knew until 3 o'clock of March 11.
3 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Sa umaga. Nung March 9, ang ating USEC sa PCO sabi, if Interpol hihingi ng assistance galing sa gobyerno, tutulungan. So why was Interpol already being mentioned and being bandied about as early as March 8, March 9, kahit wala pang notice, wala pang red notice, wala miski ano?
Ma'am, maybe in context, sabi ko nga, marami ho naging pagkakataon na tumulong po Interpol sa atin, kaya hindi natin nalilimutan. Isang example po dyan ay yung paghuli po kay Alice Go sa Indonesia, at marami pa ho mga ibang pagkakataon na tumulong po Interpol sa atin.
Ba't alam na ng palasyo that Interpol will be involved if at that time there was no confirmation or receipt of any warrant? Bakit nagsasalita na ang palasyo, nagsasalita na yung PCO, sinasabi na huwag kayo mag-alala, handa tayo sa anumang mangyari? Bakit nagre-reassure na ang palasyo?
Ano ho kasi yan?
Parang pinapalakas
Ang mekanismo po kasi ng International Tribunal, katulad po ng ICC, ay lumapit po sa Interpol upang ipamahagi o upang iserve ang warrant kasi wala po sila sariling kapulisan ang ICC.
So,
Kaya
alam na
umaasa
ninyo-
rin po sila sa Interpol.
Tama. So, ang executive, alam na ninyo na ang Interpol ang gagamitin. Hindi sa wala
Ay,
tayong
ano ho
alam.
yun eh, logical lang po yun. It's logic that Interpol will be the one used as they were the ones used in the past already.
Alam naman natin na gagamitin ng Interpol, pero hindi naman laging Interpol ang ginagamit ng ICC.
Hindi ko po alam yung iba.
Paano natin
Ang alam
alam?
ko lang ho, Interpol talaga.
Ang alam natin, iba-iba, di ba, sa history ng ICC. Kaya nagtataka ako, ba't ang aga-aga, March 8, alam na natin Interpol ang magbibigay ng warrant?
Marahil ho kasi ang Interpol may opisina rin po sila sa sa Paris tsaka sa Hague. Kaya nag-uusap-usap po lahat 'yan. Yung Eurojust, Europol, ICC, ICJ, isang lugar lang po 'yan sa The Hague.
Oo, alam natin, pero iba-ibang pamamaraan ang ginagamit ng ICC para hulihin, dakipin, at mag-serve ng warrant. So, ang sinasabi natin, siguro sina General Marbil, pagkat sila naman ang nakatanggap nito, walang contact or coordination sa ICC or Interpol bago March 11. Bago March 11, yung alas 3 ng umaga, na sinasabi po ninyo, talagang wala kayong ka-idea, walang notice, walang timbre, walang tawag, walang kaalam-alam ang Pilipinas tungkol dito.
Ma'am, can I answer that, ma'am?
Si General Marbil ang tinatanong po.
Okay, ma'am.
Pwede kayong magdagdag, mamaya.
Ma'am, wala po kaming communication with the ICC except for the PCTs lang po. We rely on the Philippine Center for Transnational Crime.
Teka, so kauna-unahang pagkaalam mo tungkol dito sa warrant mula sa Interpol, nung Marso ika-11 ng Marso, tama ba?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Sigurado kayo, ha?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Oo, okay. So, but you just said na it doesn't go to you directly. Sabi mo, dumadaan muna sa transnational crime. Pwede ba natin tanungin ang ating head ng transnational crime? Andito po si Executive Director Alcantara. Kayo ba ang una nakatanggap nitong galing sa Interpol?
Magandang umaga po, Madam Chair. Tama po yun. Ang NCB Manila ang tumanggap po at 3 o'clock in the morning nung diffusion na sinasabi na may warrant of arrest na po ang ating dating Pangulo at yun po ang ginamit namin, pinan-out namin.
Tapos pinadala ninyo kaagad sa kapulisan?
Law enforcement agencies po ang mga pinadala natin, ang National Bureau of Investigation, ang Philippine National Police, ang Bureau of Immigration at pinadalang ko rin po ang Department of Justice.
Okay. Maraming salamat. At may dadagdag yata si Secretary John Vic.
Wala na, ma'am. Wala na, ma'am.
Okay. At was a red notice, itong tinatawag na red notice, iyon ba ang pinadala ng Interpol, Executive Director Alcantara? Kasi ang binanggit mo ngayon, diffusion.
Ang dumating
Kasi-
po sa atin
Oh.
ay isang diffusion, isang commonly tinatawag na red diffusion.
Teka, ang pagkaalam ko, iba ang notice at
Opo.
iba ang diffusion. Iklaro po ninyo, alin na natanggap?
Ipapaliwanag ko po. Ipapaliwanag ko po. Ang red notice po ay a request for international police cooperation that has been applied for by a member country or entity that are distributed to every member of the organization.
Opo, alam natin yon.
Okay
Pero
po.
ang sabi kanina, red notice ang natanggap. Ngayon ang sinasabi mo, hindi red notice, kundi diffusion lamang.
Tama po.
Alin ba talaga?
Diffusion po.
Walang red notice.
Nagkakaroon po ang general public or everybody ng
Pero alam natin
confusion.
na hindi magkapareho yun.
Pero it's equivalent po to a red notice.
Hindi po.
Ang red,
Mas alam ninyo ito sa akin.
Opo,
Ang
opo.
diffusion po, hindi red notice.
Hindi
Tingnan
po,
lang
hindi
natin
po,
ang
hindi nga po.
website.
Ang diffusion po is a request for international police cooperation that is coming from an entity or another member country that is directed to another member country or
Tama,
several
oo.
countries. Yun po ang pagkakaiba.
Sa member to member,
Opo.
it's an unverified report requesting for information, humihingi lang, makikipakilang sa kapwa member
Opo.
na kung maaari, tulungan ninyo kami. Pero hindi siya verified, hindi siya dumadaan sa kanilang commissioner, hindi siya pinopost sa website katulad ng red notice.
But
Tama po
it
ba?
went through the police of the organization's police database. Pumasok din po yon sa database.
Pumasok sa database pero unverified. Maliwanag
Oo.
siya, di ba?
Ipapaliwanag
Di ba
po
ganon?
na-
So, hindi po red notice ang natanggap, tama?
Diffusion po. A red
Diffusion.
And more technical po, it's a wanted person diffusion.
Tama.
More technical.
So, walang red notice. Kapag walang pag-diffusion lang, ang pagkaintindi natin, humingi lang ng impormasyon, di ba?
Hindi po. Meron po tinatawag na red diffusion, blue diffusion.
Oo, maraming kulay yun eh.
Yung sinasabi po niyo na humihingi lang ng impormasyon is blue diffusion.
Okay,
Information.
may kulay ba ito? Yung pinadala sa
it-
atin, anong kulay ng diffusion?
Ito po ay wanted person diffusion.
So, walang red notice.
Hindi po siya red notice.
Nakatanggap pa tayo ng red notice at any point?
Itong pong wanted person diffusion na to, pagpasok po sa Interpol sa Leon, pa-process po ng notices and diffusion.
Opo, alam po natin
Okay.
yon. Alam natin yung procedure.
Ang kasunod
Madalas
po nun,
na natin ginawa yan eh.
Kasunod po nun, mag-i-issue sila ng red notice. But this
Teka.
time, dahil po may urgency, they decided na it will go through by
So
its
lumundag na
diffusion.
tayo mula sa diffusion, hindi man lang na-confirm, hindi man lang napagtibayan, hindi man lang nadaan sa commissioner nila, hindi man lang nailagay sa website o naging opisyal, lumundag na po tayo. Sa diffusion pa lang yan mo. Hindi, Kasi inaamin ninyo, wala namang red notice kailanman.
It is our job to find it out immediately, disseminate immediately, because the nature of the diffusion is...
Bakit si Congressman Arnie Teves may red notice na, hindi pa natin nagagawa ng paraan?
Hindi ko po masagot.
Ma'am, yung kay Arnie Teves, kaya ho siya nahuli sa East Timor ay dahil sa red notice. Yun ang
Yes.
dahilan.
Oo, klaro po yun, yung red notice. Kaya nga, ang pagkaintindi namin, red notice din ang sinasabi. Ngayon, lumalabas na wala kailanman na lumabas na red notice mula sa Interpol, kundi diffusion lamang.
Baka dahil ho sa panahon, kasi mabilis po ang pagganap ng yung mga pangyayari. Mabilis po nangyayari. Kaya marahil, sa ordinaryong pagkakataon, nandyan po ang red notice. Dito, wala akong pagkakataon marahil.
Madam Chair, gusto
So,
ko...
ibig sabihin, ang katotohanan, walang red notice. Mag-ingat po kayo, you're under oath, makokontempt po tayo. Dahil pagbibigyan natin, kasi sabi, red notice, yung pala, hindi red notice, nasa diffusion na po. There was no red notice and what was issued was merely a diffusion. Pakita po natin, may pagkakaiba yan, matindi. So, itong diffusion, hindi yan pinagtitibay ng Interpol Secretariat. Hindi dumaan sa Commissioner. Tama po ba?
Meron pong disclaimer to say that it did not go to a review of the notices and task force diffusion. So, may
So,
disclaimer. Pero,
nag-mobilize ang pamahalaan ng libo-libo, 7,000 ang pinagmalaki na kapulisan para sa isang request for information ng Interpol na unverified. Pinahihingi lang. Walang sinasabing nagmamadali. Pero lahat ng government resources pinaandar na dahil sa simpleng request sa kapwa-membro. Tama po?
ang iko-correct ko po ay hindi information ang hinihingi po. It is a wanted person notice, diffusion notice. Diffusion. Hindi po siya
Diffusion notice.
wanted person po ang nandoon.
Okay, pakita natin. Medyo maliit ang letra, pero basahin natin. Pwede bang palakihin para mabasa na maigi pa? Okay. So, maliwanag, tama po na dumating ng 3:04 ba to?
Correct po. Tama.
Ng umaga, Arian. Ang liwanag. Tapos, ang request dito, after prior consultation with the government of the Philippines. So, hindi totoo na March 11, 3 a.m. lang ninyo nalaman. Kasi nakasabi dito sa page 1, after prior consultation with the government of the Philippines who have agreed to comply with this request. Ibig sabihin, ang pamahalaan ay nakausap na, una, ikalawa, sumang-ayon na. So, ibig sabihin, ito formal transmittal lang. Walang sinasabi dito na biglaan ito. Kaya nga, March 10 pa lang 7,000 ng pulis na ang minobilize . Bakit sinasabing ganito?
Yung sinasabi po nyo na...
Hindi, binabasa ko lang ito .
Opo. Ang matatanong po natin dyan ay yung nagpadala po yung nag-apply po, ICC. Sila po naglagay niyan . Hindi po tayo.
Ibig ko nagsisinungaling ang Interpol?
Hindi po Interpol ang nagsisinungaling. Yung gumawa
Pero ang Interpol ang sinasabi ninyo . Sabi nila dito itong diffusion ng Interpol pagkatapos ng konsultahan sa pamahalaan. Tapos sinasabi pa rito na hugas kamay ang Interpol at hindi pa sila gumagawa ng compliance review. Hindi pa nila naimbestigahan, hindi pa nila napapatunayan itong diffusion. At kung may duda, sabihan na lang sila kasi hindi pa daw nila naaasikaso to.
Yan yung sinusunod nilang format, ma'am. Hindi ho lahat na sinasabi dyan ay gano'n na lang po ang katotohanan kasi nag-iingat lang po sila na makatabig sila na mali. Kaya marami ho silang paniguradong mga salita sa kanilang form letter. Form letter po yan .
Sasabihin nila na
Nagaya ho niya, no sinabi na
meron silang konsultasyon,
pagkatapos
pero
makipag-ugnay sa gobyerno ng Republika ng Pilipinas, ang palaisipan ko po, sino ang kausap dito? Dahil hindi naman po kami ang kausap.
sinasabi ninyo, palusot lang to, hindi to totoo.
Hindi po, yung
Paano
form
tayo
letter.
maniniwala sa Interpol
Yun
nito?
po yung kanilang form letter. Kaya, kung ako, hindi ko ho alam talaga kung sinong kausap. Pero may sinasabi po dyan na meron silang kausap. Pero ako, wala akong kaalaman.
Baka alam ng kapulisan, sino ho ang kausap, baka alam ni Secretary Anyo. Ang liwa-liwanag dito, hindi naman ako nagchichismis o naghahaka-haka. Ang liwanag eh. Nakausap na daw yung gobyerno at sumang-ayon na daw ang gobyerno na arestuhin. Paano ba to? At ito daw ay formal transmittal lamang. Ibig sabihin, nauna yun. Andyan eh, ang liwanag oh. Anybody wish to comment? Secretary Anyo, please. General Marbil. Bakit may prior consultation and assent? Bakit sumang-ayon ng mas maaga?
Well, Madam Chair, I'm not aware of any coordination of that, and I only learned of this diffusion and warrant of arrest in the morning of March 11. So, yun lang po.
So lahat kayo, March 11, 3 a.m. O 3:04. Ito yata dito. Tama naman yun. Pero, Executive Director Alcantara,
Opo.
form letter ba to? Medyo specific to eh. Prior consultations with the government of the Philippines. Hindi siya form letter eh.
I cannot
Nakakita na rin
confirm
kami.
or deny,
Nakakita
but
na rin kami ng ganito
it looks like
eh.
a form letter.
Form letter?
No, it
who have
looks
agreed
like-
to comply?
Oo.
Okay.
It's a genuine letter from the Interpol that came from the Interpol
Oo, tama.
system.
Verified naman to.
Opo.
Kaso nga lang, unang-una, diffusion lang siya. No such thing as red notice was ever received.
Ma'am,
Sabi mo, dahil sa kailangan i-expedite. Ikalawa, tinatanggi ninyo na merong prior consultation dito at saka acquiescence or agreement.
Hindi ko po masagot yung prior consultation. Ang masasagot
Wala,
ko po...
nandito lang.
Oh,
Ba't nila isusulat yan kung di totoo? Okay, basahin pa rin natin. Andito tayo, no? Ayan, si Senator Cayetano, maraming nakikita yata eh. Tapos sa page 2, no, gusto ko lang matignan to, no? Kasi ang liwanag po nito eh. Ang sabi dito, basahin po natin yung page 2, ano? Ayan. The ICC has been mandated to investigate crimes against humanity. Pakitignan na lang po ang sumunod. Sige, itaas pa po yan. Indirect co-perpetrator. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya principal, indirect pa.
parang ganun po yung understanding.
Sino yung direct? Saan na yung direct? Ba't hindi
Grabe. Nagtuturo-turuan na sila. Bakit sila nagtuturo-turuan na ngayon? Si, Hibuyang hindi makapagsalita ng direkta eh. Kung ano-ano ang pinagsasabi, ano? Pansinin niyo po, pag tinatanong siya. Diba?
Pangkaraniwan ba to na hinuhuli muna yung indirect kesa sa direct? Form letter rin ba to?
Iba ho kasi ang legal language na ginagamit ng iba't ibang bansa sa kanila hong pagbibigay ng communication.
Tama po. Siyempre, iba-iba yan. At saka translated to in many languages.
Opo.
Pero yung indirect, sa palagay ko, kahit Frances man yan or High German Swiss, ganyan pa rin indirect. Hindi siya principal.
Hindi kasi ho, yung legal system po depende ho sa kanilang pagkasulat ng kanilang mga batas. Kasi kagaya ho sa atin, conspiracy po ang tawag natin dyan, di sa ating bansa. Co-conspirator po ang tawag sa isang taong
Tama.
participate sa
Kaya
isang
nga,
krimen.
Eto, co-perpetrator.
Yun nga ho yun.
Pero
Marahil yun po yung definition niya ay lumalapit po sa ating definition na conspiracy sa ating bansa. So yun po yun. Marahil lagay natin sa konteksto na yun po ang kanilang lingwahe sa kanilang batas, sistema ng batas. Iba ho ang lingwahe natin dito.
Nako, kahit i-Frances yan, yung indirect, hindi direct, di po ba?
Oh, ganun din naman sa conspiracy eh.
Kaya nga.
Oo.
Kaya nga nagtataka lahat. Bakit siya unang hinuli? Bakit siya dinampot bigla? Hindi naman pala siya yung bida. Hindi naman siya yung kontrabida.
Pero sinabi ho na co-perpetrator.
Tama, pero
Oh,
indirect.
kasabwat. Sinabi ho diyang kasabwat.
Okay.
Oho.
Ngayon, tignan natin. Action to be taken. Locate and arrest with a view to extradition. assurances are given, extradition will be sought upon arrest of the person in conformity with national laws or the applicable bilateral and multilateral treaties. Ibig sabihin, hindi yung kidnapping or yung
Hindi
extraordinary
po kidnapping. Wala hong
rendition.
nangyaring kidnapping, ma'am.
Pero may extradition, bakit
Hindi, meron ho dalawang option yan eh.
Ang haba ng
Ang
proseso.
international humanitarian law gives us two options.
Walang nakasulat
There are two
dito.
options under international humanitarian law.
I'm just
The first
talking
option is
about the
extradition.
diffusion,
No, I
Secretary.
have to explain the law, ma'am. The international humanitarian law gives us two options: extradition or surrender. And we chose the surrender path, ma'am, not extradition.
So despite the myriad and ironclad commitments to Interpol, hindi tayo sumunod dito sa hinihingi.
Hindi ho sila familiar sa system
Ang
natin eh.
hinihingi nila, extradition, hindi surrender. Di po
Hindi-
ba? Ang liwanag eh.
Hindi, iyan po
Passport
ay
natin,
kanilang
pambira
sinasabi
ka.
kasi iyan po ang customary law sa maraming bansa na extradition.
Kanina sinabi mo,
Hindi, kaya nga eh,
customary
yun
law, yung procedural at administrative, hindi din
Hindi, pero yun nga ho eh. Hindi nila alam yung ating batas eh. Hindi ho nila
correct,
alam na
correct.
meron tayong Republic Act 9851 na nagsasabi pwede extradition o pwede surrender.
Teka,
Ang pinili po namin executive action po, surrender po.
Tapusin muna natin yung sentence kasi meron pang karugtong. Extradition will be sought upon arrest of the person in conformity with national laws. Susunod tayo sa 9851.
Yes, yun o, sinunod dyan, 9851.
O, sige.
And hindi extradition ang aming ginamit, kundi surrender.
Eka, meron tayong iko-konsulta, Attorney Alexis Medina, na sumulat ng iba't ibang libro tungkol sa international law at sabi niya, hindi tumbok sa extradition o surrender, hindi sila pareho. Kaya kinakailangan intindihin. Eto, na extradition, kaliwa-liwanag sa batas natin. Senator Cayetano, and thereafter we will consult Attorney Medina.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I'll ask my questions mamaya po kasi may konti akong introduction why. Just to follow your point, was there or was there not cooperation here? On page 2 din kasi nakalagay din, assurances are given that extradition will be sought upon the arrest of the person in conformity with national laws and or application bilateral and multilateral treaties. Tapos this request is treated as a formal request for provisional arrest in conformity with national laws. So, yun lang ang question ko kasi dun sa una sabi hindi sila sumulat, hindi nyo alam kung sino nag-cooperate. Of course, I'll take your answers at face value and presumption of regularity unless it's inconsistent. So, dito lang sa action taken, so dito sa page 2, sinong nagbigay ng assurances? Tapos nung na-receive natin to na this is to be taken as a formal request, did we take this as a formal request? I'll stop there just so that before we move to the treaty and tama ba yung surrender? I just want, factually lang, so did, to our knowledge, Secretary,
Ano ho yan eh, form letter nga ho yan ng ICC.
Yeah.
In expectation po nila, walang ibang option kundi extradition. Pero hindi ho ganun ng bating batas eh. Our local law, Republic Act 1951, allows us an executive option.
Thank you.
So to your knowledge, SOJ, ma'am, para lang hindi malito ha, kasi dalawa yung Secretary Rimulya, may I call you SOJ and may I call you SILG, just so that walang confusion. So sir, so to your knowledge, yung sinasabi nilang sa kabilang page at saka sa page na to na assurances were given, to your knowledge, that wasn't from the Philippine government.
Ano ho yan eh? Ang sinasabi po nila dyan, makakasiguro kayo na hihingi namin sa extradition ang taong yan na aming ginawang wanted.
But is that Interpol so did Interpol assure that?
Kasi ano ito eh, diffusion notice is not given to, pagkaya ng red notice buong mundo ho, nakukuha yan, itong diffusion notice limited to a few countries.
And
Yung po ang
then-
distinction.
And then sino po ang empowered to give them assurances that we will? Or is it standard?
Sila ho, standard, kaya nga form letter po nila yan eh.
Okay.
Form letter nila yan.
But when they say that there was assurances from us, is that a general assurance because we're member of Interpol or meron nagsabi sa atin that we assure you?
They are the ones assuring us that they will seek the extradition.
Okay.
Oh, sila po nag-assure sa atin.
Okay, gusto ko lang tapusin to, no? At sumunod kay Senator Cayetano. Yung sumunod na sentence, basahin po ninyo. The request is to be treated as a formal request for provisional arrest. Ibig sabihin provisional, in conformity with national laws. So ang liwanag po, hindi yun ang nangyari kasi hindi naman provisional arrest, dinala na dun sa dahig. At saka in conformity with national laws, kapag yung Article 17 po ng RA 9851, hindi naman siya sumunod.
Ang provisional arrest po is only for extradition. Hindi po kasi extradition ang route natin.
Okay, pero natapos na tayo sa extradition, pinag-usapan na ni Senator Cayetano. Ang request lang dito, provisional arrest.
Kaya nga ho ginagamit po yung
Provisional
term.
pa lang?
Ginagamit pong term na provisional arrest in conjunction with extradition. Eh hindi po extradition ang ating pinagdaanan dito.
Okay, nais kong tawagin ang ating eksperto dito, si Professor Alexis Medina, na nagpapaliwanag na yung surrender ay naiiba sa extradition at maliwanag yon sa lahat. Kaya't I'd like to recognize Attorney Alexis Medina po. You've written extensively on the distinction and application of surrender versus extradition.
يعني حتى كنت بتكلم مع
Nakasabay-bay pa ba ang lahat? Magandang topic to. Tuturo-turuan sila. Sabi ni Bongo, mag-hearing daw kayo araw-araw dyan. Okay lang, wala namang problema. Ang tanong, may babalik nyo ba? May babalik nyo ba ang Duterte? Yun ang tanong. Kung may babalik nila.
Presidente Duterte, surrender ba yan or extradition?
Thank you for the invitation, Honorable Madam Chair. And good afternoon, everyone, the cabinet secretaries and distinguished members of the executive branch. Okay. Also, Senator Cayetano, good afternoon, Senator Bongo, Senator Jingo Estrada. Going back to the question, there was the proposition that the immediate surrender of the person arrested to the jurisdiction of a foreign government or foreign state or international tribunal can be undertaken without judicial proceedings under 9851, Section 17. I respect the opinion of our hardworking and brilliant Secretary of Justice, but nevertheless, I respectfully disagree. Surrender without judicial proceedings might amount to a violation of the liberty of abode that is guaranteed by Section 6 of the Bill of Rights. The liberty of abode cannot be impaired without a lawful order of the court. That's the text of the Constitution. Now, this constitutional protection is a barrier for any government action that would simply compel an individual to change his residence. So to compel a person, to expel a person from his country of residence without a lawful court order by excluding the judicial process might amount to a violation of the liberty of abode. Now, surrender as an option under Section 17 is applicable only in very narrow situations. One is when the person to be arrested has already voluntarily surrendered to the custody of the national government, in which case that negates the necessity of the extradition process. The other option is when the person to be arrested is actually an alien, in which case there's no need to go through the extrajudicial process. It's only a deportation process which does not involve a court proceedings. So in those two instances, surrender without court proceedings would be possible. Other than those proceedings, it would be very difficult to maintain that that is sanctioned by the Constitution.
So ang
Thank you, Your Honor.
sinasabi po ninyo, dalawa lang pagkakataon na pwede mag-surrender. Kung yung mismong akusado at inaaresta arestado ang nagsusumite sa pamahalaan, yun, pwede yun.
Yes po.
Kusa niya yun.
Yes.
Ikalawa, kapag banyaga,
Yes po.
hindi naman Pilipino,
Yes po.
deport, executive action yun.
Yes po.
Mabilis, walang kailangan na korte-korte.
Yes po.
So yun lang, wala na pong ibang exception, wala na pong ibang sitwasyon kung saan pwedeng surrender. Kasi pinagpipilitan na sinurrender, sinuko ang Pangulong Duterte ng pamahalaan sa Interpol. Yun ang pagkaintindi ko sa sinasabi kanina. Sinasabi ninyo, hindi po pwede yun. 2 pagkakataon lang ang po pwede isuko ang isang Pilipino. Yung isa pa nga, hindi sa Pilipino. Attorney Medina po.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I stand by my statement. There may be possibilities that surrender can happen in other situations, but certainly surrender of a person necessarily requires the lawful order of the court. And this requirement is consistent with the policy of the Constitution that whenever there's a deprivation of liberty, court intervention, judicial proceedings, judicial process is a requirement because the right to liberty is placed in an exalted status in our constitutional system. Hindi po pwedeng, the Constitution does not contemplate exclusion of the court process in depriving a person of his right to liberty.
Kung hindi pwedeng isuko ang isang Pilipino na hindi pumapayag, hindi naman voluntary, ang ibig mo sabihin, ang iba pang pagkakataon, extradition na.
Yes,
That's the only legal process to enforce surrender to the ICC. I-extradite na kapag Pilipino ka. Tama po ba?
I agree, Madam Chair. Thank you. And extradition is a judicial proceedings. Involves judicial proceedings po.
Okay.
May I
At
respond?
maliwanag din dito, maski yung Interpol mismo, sinasaad na kinakailangan provisional arrest, extradition to be applied for in conformity with national laws. Sinasabi nga sa ating konstitusyon, sa ating Korte Suprema lamang at sa mga iba't iba pang korte. Kasama pa ba yung korte sa ICC?
If I may comment. Your Honor, can I give the context for my statements?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. My apologies. I had to answer the question directly. I was invited on the basis of a post I made online, a legal opinion on the arrest of the former president. I'd like
And also
to...
your qualifications as an international lawyer.
No, actually, I'm a teacher of constitutional law. I taught at San Sebastian College, Recoletos, Manila, the Polytechnic University of Manila, and the New Era University. I also give lectures for bar review examiners. Okay. Well, when I posted a legal opinion on the arrest of the president, to my surprise, it gained public traction. And my objective in posting that is really for academic discourse, not for any legal or political advocacy. I'd like to make it clear to everyone in the room, I am not here as a partisan. Okay, I am not involved in any political activity. My views that I posted are from the detached perspective of an academic.
Full disclosure po, I've never met you before.
Yeah, opo.
I've only read you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you po. And to be honest po, 2016, I did not even vote for the former president. I was counsel for Grace Poe. Okay, so Senator Grace Poe. So my view that the arrest and detention and expulsion of the former president may have infringed several constitutional guarantees in favor of the former president. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Madam Chair.
Attorney Medina. I think Senator Cayetano has evinced his desire to
Well,
interpolate.
full disclosure then, I'm trying to be non-partisan. I ran as an independent last election, no political party. But I did vote for the president in 2016. No? So I saw the SOJ raising his hand. Would you like to give your comment now? Or I'm actually going to ask him questions on this. Then I'll ask the chair to give you time to rebut.
I would
or
like to hear your questions
Okay,
and the answers.
thank you for that. So, sir, tayo ba nag-meet na rin ba tayo?
I don't think so, sir.
I don't think so. So, yeah. Yes, so I don't mean to be rude, and I thank you for your volunteering your opinion kasi nga basically there's so much confusion. So we're trying to get through the confusion not only for today but also for tomorrow to make sure that we respect our constitution and everyone's right is protected. So my first question, do we in this room do we all agree that if there's conflict between international law and our constitution will prevail?
Yes, Your Honor, that's the doctrine of constitutional supremacy.
You agree, SOJ? No, yeah. If there's conflict, di ba? Kasi sinabi naman sa Constitution that international law forms part of the land of the law. So if there's no conflict, wala tayong problema. Okay. So having said that, one of the fundamental